My name is Sharon Squassoni, and I direct the Proliferation Prevention Program here at CSIS. We are so pleased today to have Governor Uchibori from the Fukushima Prefecture here today. Before I give a few opening remarks, I would just like to send Dr. John Hamry's greetings and expression of regret that he could not be here to introduce you, but he had to travel outside of Washington. Just an administrative note, we are streaming live. I would ask everyone that you either silence your cell phones or turn them off. And in the event of emergency procedures, you should just follow CSIS staff. On March 11th, 2011, a historic earthquake and tsunami devastated Japan and caused 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station to experience core meltdowns. 5 years later, approximately 87,000 people are still displaced, taking shelter in and outside of the Fukushima Prefecture. The information the world has received about Fukushima is limited and tends to be mostly negative. I have found, actually, I've been to Fukushima several times, and every time I post something on Facebook, people say, "Is it safe?" And I say, "Of course." In the more than 5 years since the disaster, the Fukushima Prefecture and Governor Uchibori have been working hard to promote understanding of the current situation of Fukushima, including raising awareness of the steady progress made and the new industries that are the driving force of Fukushima's revitalization. Governor Uchibori joins us today to discuss the present situation of the prefecture 2,047 days after the Great East Japan earthquake, as well as his efforts aimed at revitalization. Governor Uchibori was elected as governor of Fukushima in October 2014, and he took office in November of 2014. He graduated from the University of Tokyo and received his Bachelor of Arts Degree in economics, and then joined the Home Affairs Ministry. In 2001, he joined the Fukushima Prefectural Government, and he was appointed Vice-Governor of Fukushima Prefecture in December 2006. He continued in that position until he was elected governor. We are so pleased and honored to have you with us today, Governor Uchibori, and I will give the floor over to you.
Mrs. Squassoni, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for gathering here today. My name is Masao Uchibori, and I am the governor of Fukushima Prefecture. I am truly honored to have this opportunity to tell you about Fukushima's progress towards revitalization after the Great East Japan earthquake. 2047. This is the number of days since that tragic event. I hope this gives you an idea of how much time has passed so far. During this period, the people of Fukushima have faced many hardships while working hard towards reconstruction. At the same time, we have received immense support from all over the world. Thanks to much support, revitalization is moving forward steadily. On behalf of the people of Fukushima, I would like to express my sincerest gratitude to the world for the encouragement, solidarity, and friendship we have received over these past years.
2011年3月11日、あの日、あの時、私たちは一瞬たくさんのものを失いました。地震、津波、そして原子力災害。心も体も傷つき、呆然と立ち尽くす私たちに、海を渡り、あなたたちは勇敢にも救いの手を差し伸べてくれました。あなたたちの友達作戦は、命だけではなく、心も救ってくれました。
ありがとう。
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 ありがとう。Thank you very much. ありがとう。Today, I will talk about the current progress of reconstruction Fukushima and the new industries that are the driving force of our revitalization. I hope this will help you to understand our efforts to create a future for Fukushima. In the first section, I will outline the positives and negatives in Fukushima 2,047 days after the disaster. First of all, do you know where Fukushima is? It is located roughly 250 kilometers to the north of Tokyo. If you travel by bullet train, it takes 80 minutes. Fukushima is a very large prefecture, and it's split into 3 regions based on differences in geography, climate, and culture. Fukushima has always been a very beautiful and peaceful prefecture. Unfortunately, Fukushima was changed significantly by the earthquake that hit on March 11th, 2011, and by the tsunami that followed, leading to the additional blow of the nuclear power station accident. Fukushima's fate was dramatically changed by the hydrogen explosion in 3 reactors at the TEPCO Fukushima Daiichi Nuclear Power Station. Residents of the area around the power station had to be evacuated. After the disaster, 3 evacuation zones were determined. ちょっと遅れます。飛ばして。Okay. After the disaster, 3 evacuation zones were determined in a 20 to 30 kilometer radius of the power station. They were established based on international standards to protect people from radiation in the event of an emergency. After the reactors achieved cold shutdown, the evacuation zones were reviewed. 3 areas were established, covering a 20-kilometer radius from the power station, and location outside of this radius with high levels of radiation. Time has passed since the initial evacuation zones were set, and as the radiation levels have decreased, evacuation orders have been lifted for certain areas. Even now, nearly 725 square kilometers of the prefecture remain evacuated. However, I would like to stress that the evacuation zones make up 5% of the entire area of Fukushima Prefecture. When I am traveling overseas, there are still a lot of people who think that nobody is living in Fukushima. This is not true. The fact that 5% of the prefecture is evacuated means that people can live normal lives in the remaining 95%. Of course, for us, the 5% is a very important area. We are making the utmost efforts so that residents can resume their lives in their hometown. There are still nearly 86,000 people evacuated to locations inside and outside the prefecture. The number has decreased from a peak of 164,000. However, even though 2,047 days have passed, there are still many people have been unable to return to their hometown, where they used to live. To support evacuees, there are social workers that focus on providing outreach activities and mental health care. On a brighter note, infrastructure recovery work has progressed in areas that suffered significant damage. During the disaster, with 80% now being completed, the remaining work is scheduled to finish by 2019. For example, both the national highway and expressway running from south to north along the coast near the nuclear power station have opened. New schools and clinics have also opened. Work is underway to restore Japan's National Soccer Training Center, J-Village, which is currently the base for the power plant's decommissioning work. With a view to its reopening in 2018, we plan to hold training camps for Japan's national soccer teams at J-Village during the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The clocks in Fukushima have not stopped. The clocks are moving forward to accomplish Fukushima's revitalization. For our revitalization, there are 4 issues that must be overcome. The first is decommissioning the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station. The existence of the power station has become a significant burden for Fukushima Prefecture. Ensuring the safe and steady progression of the decommissioning work is essential in order to achieve Fukushima's reconstruction. Decommissioning work is being conducted for reactors 1 to 4, which caused the accident. At the time of the accident, reactor 4 was undergoing a routine inspection, and all the fuel was being stored in the spent fuel pool. Because of this, removable work for all the fuel in Reactor 4 was completed in December 2014. Preparations are being made for the removal of the spent fuel in the remaining reactors. In addition to the removal of the spent fuel, the most difficult issue faced is the removal of the melted fuel debris. The fuel debris is the result of fuel melting and hardening again. The current condition of the fuel debris has yet to be confirmed. In order to proceed with the decommissioning, we need to continue to investigate the inside of the reactors, working towards the safe and efficient removal of the fuel debris. Next, countermeasures against contaminated water. Currently, 150 tons of groundwater is flowing into the reactor buildings every day to become newly contaminated water. Various countermeasures have been taken based on three basic principles. 1. Remove the source of water contamination. 2. Redirect fresh water from contaminated areas. And 3. Retain contaminated water from leakage. An impermeable wall was constructed on the seaside in order to prevent coastal groundwater flowing out into the port area. To control the flow of groundwater into the reactor buildings, a groundwater bypass and subdrains are operating. Also, a frozen soil wall is currently being established. However, the work to safely remove the fuel debris will take a very long time. We need to proceed with the work safely over the next 30 to 40 years. Fukushima's true reconstruction will not be achieved until the decommissioning measures are completed at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power station. The second issue is environmental recovery. To regain our everyday lives in Fukushima Prefecture, it is important to restore our environment from the damage caused by radioactive materials released during the nuclear power station accidents. As this picture shows, after the disaster, children walked to school in the middle of summer wearing long sleeves and masks due to fears of radiation. I know it must have been very stressful for them. In order to restore our environment, decontamination work is underway throughout the prefecture to remove radioactive materials. This slide should give you an image of how the process works. Soil containing radioactive materials is removed, and after being collected is managed carefully in various storage locations. Progress has been made on decontamination work all over the prefecture. Work will have been completed in the light blue areas here by March. Thanks to this progress, and also to the fact that 5 years have passed since the power station accident, the radiation levels in Fukushima Prefecture have decreased considerably. This slide This slide shows the radiation levels in the prefecture. As you can see, they are the same as those in major cities throughout the world. Please bear in mind that this is the current situation in Fukushima. Thanks to efforts including decontamination work, our children are able to lead normal, everyday lives just the same as before the disaster. Turning now to the third issue, I would like to talk about Fukushima's reputation. There are still people who have concerns regarding the safety of Fukushima's agricultural products, or who are worried about visiting Fukushima. Rather than factual information, inaccurate rumors about Fukushima's safety have spread throughout the world. The agriculture and tourism industries have been damaged by such unarticulated anxiety. Here, I would like to explain the efforts Fukushima has been making to restore its reputation. Regarding agriculture products, Fukushima's farmers have devoted themselves to taking measures against radioactive materials, including decontaminating farm land and trees. As you can see here, thanks to these great efforts, the results of monitoring inspections for radioactive materials in Fukushima's agriculture products, including rice, vegetables, fruit, livestock products, and cultivated mushrooms are well within safe limits. While there are still some items among wild mountain plants and fish that exceed the limits, the ratio has decreased notably over the past few years. The results of monitoring inspections are updated on the prefecture's website daily. You can view them from anywhere in the world. As for tourism, the number of tourists visiting Fukushima decreased significantly after the disaster, although numbers have returned to almost 90% of what they were. However, overseas tourists' numbers are only 50% of pre-disaster levels. As I have mentioned, life is back to normal for the majority of area in Fukushima Prefecture, so please come and visit us. Now, I would like to show how you can enjoy Fukushima. The first is the hot springs. Fukushima has top-ranked hot springs all over the prefecture. You can enjoy Fukushima's hot springs while experiencing seasonal changes in the beautiful nature. And second, our Fukushima's sake. Over the past 10 years, Fukushima has won 6 of the annual national sake contests. Furthermore, Fukushima sake won the champion sake division of the International Wine Challenge last year. From this, you can tell Fukushima sake is the best in the world. I promise that when you visit Fukushima, you will enjoy traditional Japanese holiday, relaxing in the hot springs and savoring Fukushima's world-renowned sake. The last issue in the creation of new industries, specifically renewable energy and robotics. First, renewable energy. Fukushima aims to cover 100% of energy demand using renewable energy by 2040. We would like to establish a society that does not depend on nuclear power. The national government's goal is to increase the ratio of energy demand covered by renewable energy to between 22% and 24% by 2030. As of last year, Fukushima had already exceeded the national government's goal. One attempt to improve technology has been a trial project focused on operation of a floating offshore wind farm, a world first in terms of scale. The project has involved the creation of giant wind turbines located 20 to 30 kilometers off the coast and aims to provide a stable supply of electricity. In order to promote research and development in the renewable energy field, the Renewable Energy Research Institute was opened in 2014. Through collaboration between the institute, companies in the prefecture, and universities domestically and internationally, technologies have been established and improved at an accelerated rate. Research and development is underway for hydrogen technology that can be used to store and transport energy. Our goal is to use renewable energy to produce hydrogen in an amount equivalent to 10,000 fuel cell automobiles. We hope to use this CO2-free made in Fukushima hydrogen not only in Fukushima, but also for the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics. Fukushima is aiming to become a pioneer of the future hydrogen society as a major producer, providing hydrogen-based energy to all of Japan. By addressing various challenges, such as these projects, we hope to push renewable technology forward into the future. Next, I would like to talk about robotics. Why is the robotics industry important? It is vital for the decommissioning of the nuclear power station. Humans cannot physically conduct parts of the decommissioning work. Some tasks can only be conducted by robots. For this reason, we want to establish a strong robotics industry in Fukushima. We would also like to make practical use of disaster response robots in Fukushima. Many projects will be conducted in areas impacted by the tsunami and power station accident. A project is underway to establish one of the biggest robot test fields in the world. The field can be used to demonstrate disaster response robots. For example, this field will enable robots' functionality to be tested, including flight tests of drones and other flight equipment. Development of robots by various businesses in Fukushima is already underway. This includes drones and disaster response robots. Robots that provide support in the medical and welfare fields and the agriculture industry and are also being developed. By continuing to address these challenges, we would like to provide the world with made in Fukushima robot technology. We hope to make Fukushima the future leader of the robot industrial revolution. Lastly, I would like to share a story we experienced after the disaster. The Nippon Koki Shirakawa plant is located in the south of Fukushima Prefecture. The company makes explosives for industrial and defense purposes. They also develop some more unexpected products. The asteroid explorer Hayabusa 2. I am sure many of you remember the news of the first generation Hayabusa when it returned to Earth 6 years ago in June 2010. The second generation Hayabusa 2 was launched in December 2014. Its destination is asteroid 1999JU3. The plan is that Hayabusa 2 will fire a device known as an impactor into the asteroid around August 2019. The impactor will create a man-made crater on the surface of the asteroid. The mission involves taking rock and sand samples from inside the asteroid and bringing them back to Earth. This is an extremely difficult mission, and it is a world-first challenge. The key to the mission's success is the impactor. Nippon Koki helped develop the impactor. Aside from this company, many other businesses and universities in Fukushima are involved with the development of Hayabusa 2. The impactor weighs roughly 10 kilograms. A stainless steel cone-shaped container is packed with explosives and covered by a thin copper plate. When the explosives are set off, the copper plate is transformed into a hemispherical shape and accelerated in an instant to a speed of 2,000 meters per second, striking the asteroid like a bullet. However, in a harsh environment, such as space, this is extremely difficult to achieve. Throughout development, Fukushima companies used their own know-how, carrying out hundreds of trials. Under such difficult development conditions, Fukushima was faced with a further hardship: the Great East Japan Earthquake. The Nippon Koki Shirakawa plant suffered major damage and had to shut down operations for over a month. With the day of the JAXA verification test approaching, many members of the development team faced exhaustion, but they were determined not to give up. Convinced that this was the time to show the world the power of Fukushima's manufacturing industry, their pride in Fukushima helped drive them forward. 7 months later, the verification test was held. As many people involved in the project watched, the copper plate was shot out by the explosion, changing shape exactly as planned, and penetrated the target at the specified speed. Everyone was amazed by the test results. JAXA, who had ordered the device, said, if we were to give it a score, it would be 120 out of 100. The challenge met by Fukushima's engineers had far exceeded the expectation of JAXA. In that moment, a new source of Fukushima's pride was born. To end, I would like to introduce what I believe to be one of the keywords of Fukushima's revitalization. The keyword is challenge. The reality is Fukushima's revitalization is even more difficult than you can imagine. Some people might say it is impossible. However, as I have just shown, Fukushima's engineers overcame many hardships and made the impossible possible. No matter what situation you find yourself in, never give up and continue rising to challenge. Doing so will become a source of great power that can change despair into hope. I believe that this is what is needed for Fukushima's revitalization. At this moment, Hayabusa 2 is flying through space, continuing the challenge of its difficult mission, the first of its kind in history. 4 years from now, in winter 2020, it will finish its long voyage, returning to its home planet, the Earth. Also, in 2020, the Tokyo Olympics and Paralympics will be held. At that time, we would like to show the world and returning Hayabusa 2, a Fukushima that is revitalizing, a Fukushima that is striving towards a brighter future. With the support of people around the world, we will continue our challenge so that in 2020, we can share Fukushima's revitalization with the people of the world. Thank you all for your interest and your support for Fukushima. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Uchibori. We have about 20 minutes for questions, and I'm sure we have a lot from the audience. But I wondered if I could ask you a question or two to start with. More than half of the evacuees have returned to the Fukushima Prefecture. But of course, the future of the prefecture depends on families with young children moving back. Are you seeing a lot of young families? Have you chosen particular policies to encourage young families to come back?
やはり今の福島は帰還される方がどうしても高齢者が主体になっている。これは事実であります。
Actually, it is true that today a lot of returnees are actually elders.
しかし若者たちが戻らない自治体、地域に未来はありません。
However, without the returns of young people, municipalities have no future.
若者たちが戻るために大切なこと、やはり大きく分けて2つあります。
And there are two elements that are important for young people to come back to the prefecture.
一つは放射線の心配をしないで住むことができる、安心して住める環境を作ること。
One is to secure the environment that the young people can live with the sense of safety and security without having to worry about radiation.
そしてもう一つは学校の教育、これを彼らが今避難している先の地域の教育、それとは異なる非常に特色があって子どもたちにとってプラスになる、そういう有益な教育の内容を作り上げていくことです。
Another thing we should do is to enhance our education program that is a bit different, that is more unique and special from the schools that the children are going right now at the location that they are evacuated to.
そして子どもたちの両親、若い世代の親御さんたちにとって大切な条件もあります。
And there are some conditions that are also important for young parents.
それは若い親御さんたちが安心して働ける職場環境、雇用の場を作ること、それから病院、医療環境が整うこと、こういったこと全体が整ってこそ若い世代が安心して帰れる地域が作れると思います。
One thing is for the young parents to be able to work safely and securely, to provide them with an environment where they can work at. And the second element is the medical field. We need to have good hospitals so that they can rely on the good medical services. With these environment in place, young people and young parents could come back to their hometown.
今、福島県外の若い世代が福島の復興を応援するためにそういった地域に入ってくる例もありますので、ぜひ時間はかかりますが若い世代が多く戻ってその地域の未来を担えるようにいろんな施策を展開していきたいと考えています。
Right now we are seeing some examples where young people from outside the prefecture are coming into Fukushima to help out with the reconstruction efforts. Of course, it will take time, but we would like to take measures so that young people will feel comfortable in coming back to the area.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll take a question from the audience here, and we have a microphone coming around. And please introduce yourself and make it a short question.
I am Nasir Hafiz from South Asian Studies at Johns Hopkins University. I must congratulate the governor. I think it is an enormous task which they have completed. My question is that what has been the cost of this revitalization of Fukushima, since the nuclear energy is considered as one of the green and clean energy, and there are so many projects going on all over the world where new reactors are being built. So how do you see the viability of those new reactors being built once we consider the revitalization cost of an accident in case if it happens? Thank you.
この原子力に関してですけれども、今回のその全体のここにかかったコストというのはどういうふうになっているんでしょうかということ、それからやはり世界でもこれからもおそらく新しいその原子炉がこれから新しく建築されていくという中で、それに関わるその政治的な動きというのもある中で、このような形でその原子力に頼らなくなっていくというそのクリーンエナジーに移っていくということに関するコストというのはどういうふうに考えていらっしゃるんでしょうか。
まず今回の原発事故のコストですね、これはまだ現在進行形ですので全体額が確定していませんが、当初段階で10兆円を上回る規模のコストというものが想定されています。その主な内訳は除染、それから賠償、あと原発事故の収束、こういったものが主な要素になります。
Now, regarding the cost associated with the nuclear accident, although it is still ongoing and we cannot have the concrete number yet, but in the beginning we anticipated more than 10 trillion yen, and the breakdown is one is decontamination and also for the compensation, and the other part would be the completion of the accidents or the taking care of the accidents.
そして最初当初予定していたその10兆円を超えるという規模のもの、実はこれでは足りずにさらに数兆円それをオーバーするというですね試算が今出始めています。でそうなってくると20兆に近いやはりコストがかかるということになりますので、こういった全体のコストをどうやって賄うかということについて今国が真剣に議論を始めたところであります。
We started out with the assumption of cost being about 10 trillion yen or a little bit more than 10 trillion yen, but recently we have found out that it might not be sufficient and added a few trillion yen to the calculation. So it might go up to close to 20 trillion yen. And this is a big amount of cost. So right now, the national government is starting the discussion about how to bear this cost.
そして再生可能エネルギーの研究のコストについて、やはりこれにも一定の金額かかると思いますが、例えば福島県の中で今再生可能エネルギー研究所というものがあって、そこが例えば太陽光、風力、地熱、地中熱、こういったさまざまな再生可能エネルギーのコスト、これを下げる努力をしています。こういった研究開発を日本だけではなくて世界各地が英知を結集して進めていくことがこれからの世界全体のエネルギー政策にとって重要だと思います。
And also regarding the renewable energy, there's of course cost associated with that in developing the technologies. Right now within Fukushima Prefecture, we have established a new Renewable Energy Institute, and they are working on research and development for reducing the cost for renewable energies such as solar power, wind power, thermal power, etc. And this such research will take not only Japanese technology but also knowledge from around the world, and I think such study will be very important for energy policy around the world.
再生可能エネルギーにはやはり弱点があります。大規模な発電能力がない、また変動が大きい、安定性がない、あるいは貯めることがなかなか難しい、土地によって地域によってばらつきがある、コストが高い、こういったデメリットをどうやって技術開発で克服していくか、これを福島県としてぜひ先頭に立って挑戦をしていきたいと考えています。
Of course, there are some shortcomings regarding the renewable energies. For example, the scale of the energy produced is rather small, and also there's fluctuation in production of energy, and also it's more difficult to store the energy that's generated, and there's a variation depending on the region, and also the cost is still high. And we would like to be the pioneer in overcoming such difficulties by carrying out the R&D activities in the prefecture.
May I ask a follow-up question? Do you envision when you say Fukushima Prefecture will be nuclear-free by 2040? Do you envision the Fukushima Daini nuclear power plant coming online before then?
福島には10基原発があります。福島第一が6基、福島第二が4基ですが、福島県民の強い思いとして過酷な原発事故を味わっていますので、福島県内の10基すべて廃炉にする、再稼働はないということを強く訴えています。しかしそれに対してまだ国あるいは電力事業者は決定をしていない、これが現実であります。
There are 10 nuclear reactors in Fukushima Prefecture. 6 are in Fukushima Daiichi and 4 are in Fukushima Daini. But the very strong wish of the residents of Fukushima Prefecture, because they have gone through such a harsh experience of accident, their strong wish is to decommission all of the reactors, no restart of the reactors. However, at this point, national government or the utility operators have not made that decision yet.
Thank you. Next question, right up here, Paul Walker. If you come up here, Amelia.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor, for your nice presentation. My name is Paul Walker, and I work with the Green Cross International. I visited Fukushima 2 years ago. We manage a week-long tour to Fukushima every year, as we also do to the Chernobyl region in the Ukraine and Belarus to better understand the risks of nuclear power. My question is, when will life, do you feel, be normal in the areas in which people are coming back? It struck me when I was there that people are coming back. Obviously, 50%, I think, of the evacuees and have now returned or gone somewhere else. A lot of them actually have not returned to the prefecture, as I understand, but have gone to other prefectures. But it's very difficult to have a real functioning economy. Stores, schools, outside playgrounds, the like. When we were there were hot spots everywhere. Even though the general radiation might have been low, in fact, you had to keep moving at times because there was high radiation randomly all throughout the prefecture. So I'm just wondering if evacuees have actually returned, is life there at anywhere near normal yet, and if not, when?
Thank you.
はい、非常に大事な質問だと思います。先ほどのプレゼンテーションの中で福島県の中全体の 12% がピーク時避難区域だった。それが今 5% まで狭まっているという話をしました。
Well, thank you for your important question. As I mentioned in the presentation, at the peak time, 12% of the land of Fukushima Prefecture was designated as an evacuation zone, but now it is 5%.
でそれでは 12-5 の 7% のエリアが直ちに通常の生活、ノーマルライフに復帰しているかというと全然違います。
So you might ask, what about those 7% areas? Are they gone back to perfectly normal life? The answer is no.
先ほどの最初の質問ともリンクするんですが、やはりまず戻ってもいいと思う方は高齢の方が多くて、若い世代の方はなかなか戻りません。例えば去年避難指示解除されたある町はまだ1割の方が帰っていない。つまり9割以上の方がまだ帰還を決めていないという状況にありますので、どうしても長い時間がかかる、これが現実だと思います。
And this is linked to the first question. A lot of people who decide to go back are elder people. Young people are rather hesitant. For example, in one municipality where the evacuation order was lifted last year, only 10% of the people came back, meaning that 90% of people have not decided if they really want to come back or not. That is the reality.
でまた放射線に対するその感受性、感じ方というのも人それぞれ世帯によってやはり違います。でそれぞれの違いによっていつ帰るかということがまた影響してきますので、やはりこういったところは政府が避難指示解除という一つの行政決定をしても、それは直ちに帰りなさいということではありません。やはり一定の期間の中でそれぞれの住民が自分の感受性や自分の生活実態、仕事の実態に応じて帰るのか、あるいは当面今の避難先でそのまま居続けるのかを決めるという現実がありますので、やはりある程度の長い期間の中でこのふるさとに帰れるかどうかということを決めていただくしかないというふうに私たちは考えています。
And the sensitivity to radiation, how they feel about it is different depending on the family. So that will determine when they want to come back to their hometown. And of course, when the government says the evacuation order is lifted, that's an administrative decision, but that doesn't mean that they are ordering people to go back to their hometown. So each family will make their decision depending on their sensitivity regarding the radiation, as well as their work situation and other factors. And ultimately, they will make the decision to go back or either stay in where they are as an evacuee for some time. So in a very long period of time, we will have to let those families decide if they want to go back or not.
やはり自然災害から こう戻す復興の在り方と原子力災害から戻そうとする復興の在り方がやはり非常に違うなという苦しみを我々は今抱えています。
So we are actually suffering because of the difference between a natural disaster and nuclear disaster when we try to recover from those two very different disasters.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a question up here, and please, our interpreter is wonderful, but make your question short.
Thank you, and thank you, Governor, for a very thorough presentation. I'm Stephen Dolly. I report on nuclear power for Platts. And as you know, Niigata Prefecture just elected a governor who campaigned on an anti-nuclear power platform. Do you see a trend towards election of prefectural governors and local officials who oppose nuclear power, and do you expect this will have an effect on the efforts to restart some of the reactors, only very few of which have returned to service since the Fukushima accident?
2011年3月の福島県の原発の事故以来、やはり原発の在り方というものが日本の国内で大きな議論になっています。
Since the nuclear power plant accident in Fukushima in March 2011, Japan has been debating about the existence of nuclear power plant.
地域によってやはり差がありまして、例えば鹿児島県ですとか愛媛県ですとか再稼働というものを認めるという地域もありました。一方鹿児島県はちょっと知事が変わってまた別のスタンスになったり、あるいは新潟県知事選挙では今回その再稼働問題が一つの争点になって、その結果原発に対して厳しい見方をする知事が今回選挙に勝つというように、やはり 3.11 の福島第一原発事故の後、福島の原発問題というものが非常に各地域の考え方に大きな影響を及ぼしているなということを実感しています。
And the feeling is different, but depend on the regions. For example, Kagoshima Prefecture and Ehime Prefectures accepted the restart of their power plants. However, in Kagoshima, with the new governor elected, their stance changed a little bit. And also at the Niigata election for governor, the very hot point regarding the campaign was the nuclear power plant restart or not. And the governor or candidate who had a very harsh attitude toward the restart actually won the election. And as you can see, since the 3/11 Fukushima accident, the nuclear power plant issue changed a lot of attitude toward nuclear plant in various areas within Japan.
やはり原子力政策、これを国が考えていくにあたって大切なことは、5年前の福島第一原発事故の反省と教訓を踏まえること、それから住民の安全安心をやはり最優先に考えてどうするか、こういうことを頭に置きながら責任を持って国として考え、また各自治体もそれぞれの立場で考えていくこと、これが何よりも重要だと思います。
When we think about nuclear power policy, it is important to really learn from the lessons learned from 5 years ago, and also to place the security and safety of residents as a first priority, and for the national government to take responsibility in that. And municipalities also need to work towards the same direction.
Thank you.
One more question in the back, please.
My name is Nara of Japan Electric Power Information Center. Can I speak Japanese?
Okay.
どうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
もうこの復興だけではなく、それ以上に復興していただきたいなと考えているわけでございますけれども、先ほど10兆円以上のコストがかかる、いろいろなお話を聞きましたですけれども、これを解決する切り札として、私は首都機能の移転、こ これを非常に私、これしかもう切り札ないんじゃないかと思うぐらいですね、思ってるわけなんですけれども、これにつきまして、なんか障害とかですね、あるのか、ちょっとお伺いしたいと思います。
英語にちょっと出てきて。
Thank you for your presentation, and I wish you good luck for the reconstruction, and I'm rooting for you. And you talked about the cost of reconstruction being more than 10 trillion yen, and I think the key to solving that issue is transferring the central government function or capital function to other city. And what is your thought on that?
日本という国の中ではアメリカ以上に首都東京が非常に強い力を持っています。でこの首都機能を他に移したらどうかという議論は2000年に入ってすぐ盛んに行われました。実は福島県はお隣の栃木那須地域と連携をして手を挙げて、結果候補地が3つほどあったんですが、その中でも一番上にランクされる、それこそ首都機能が移る場合の最優先の候補地であったという歴史的な事実がありますが、結果的に立ち消えになってしまいました、その議論は。
In Japan, the capital Tokyo has a lot more power than the capital of the United States, actually. And there was a lot of discussion about transferring the capital function around the year 2000. And Fukushima actually worked together with Nasu region in Tochigi Prefecture, which is our neighboring prefecture, to become the candidate. And there were 3 candidates for transferring the function, and we became the #1 candidates. But the discussion halted in the middle.
やはり日本の国の在り方を今議論している中で、実は日本の官庁機能の一部を少し地方に移したらいいんじゃないかという議論も安倍政権になって改めて議論されているんですが、現在その文化庁の一部、消費者庁の一部をちょっと切り出すかどうかというテストモデルが行われているぐらいですので、率直に言って今の現況ではなかなか本格的な首都機能移転論というのは起きてこないんだろうなというのが私の感覚であります。
Right now we're debating within Japan about how the government and the country should be, and there was a discussion about transferring some of the functions of the offices within the government, and that discussion reignited with the Abe administration. And what they are doing right now is to transfer some of the functions of culture agency as well as consumer agency to some other areas, but that's only a part of the function, and it's a trial basis. So with such environment, I think it will be difficult to reignite the discussion or full-fledged discussion about the entire capital function transferring to somewhere else.
ありがとうございました。
Thank you. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I would like to express my sincere thanks to a few people who made this possible. My staff, Yukari Sekaguchi and Amelia Armitage. The governor's staff, our fabulous interpreter, but mostly Governor Uchibori. We are deeply honored you came to speak today at CSIS. And we wish you all the success in the world in helping your people overcome this tragedy and working towards revitalization.
Yes.
Thank you very much.